morning. If you were with us earlier, you'll have seen some excellent performances already in Nice in this, the latest round of the Grand Prix series, and we'll have the highlights shortly. But we'll start with two of the later events at the meeting, and they involve a couple of Olympic champions. They're Paulie Reng, the great Kenyan in the 800 metres, and first Paula Ivan, the Romanian, who goes in the women's mile. The commentary team in Nice, Ron Pickering, Stuart Story, and David Coleman.
Bev Nicholson of Great Britain, number 83 in the yellow, lining up for the start of the women's mile. It should be a fast one. We've got the Olympic 1500 metre champion Paula Ivan in this from Romania. Another Briton taking part is Alison Wyeth of the Southampton and Eastleigh Club. 1 mile, 4 laps of the track. Straight away, quickly into a start on the inside is Prix, one of the Romanians. And the Romanians have got a very strong hand here. They've got the Olympic 1500 metre champion Ivan in second place, and then Malinti, the former Olympic 800 metre champion, in third place at the moment. Klinger of West Germany is in fourth place. Richburg, America, 5, and Lynn Williams of Canada in sixth place. Right at the back at the moment, Cornelia Berkey of Switzerland. So settling down, the Romanians 1, 2, 3, and I would think Verclair is in there to try and help the other two. Ivan in second place, likes to front run. Malinti third, Lynn Williams is 4, Richburg 5, Klinger 6. Verclair, the leader's 24. She got the best time this season of 4 minutes 7 seconds for the 1500 metres. Well, the times are approximate there, because this track is not measured in yards. Just over 64. Stan Greenberg caught the yardies there at 64.2 at 4:40. Verclair leading, Ivan in second place. Still Malinti third, Williams 4, Richburg 5, Klinger 6, and Bev Nicholson beginning to improve now. Wyeth is up there in about 7th, 8th place, just being passed by Awam, the Moroccan. Verclair, very slight figure. Ivan, very, very strong. Malinti in third place. Lynn Williams, the tiny Canadian, who's 29 tomorrow. Regular competitor in Great Britain, and of course has run with some distinction in the Commonwealth Games as well. She's in fourth place. But it's Romania 1, 2 and 3. Interesting to see where Ivan takes it on, because she got beaten in a sprint finish over 3,000 metres to everyone's surprise the other night, and is a bit vulnerable. She likes to get away before the closing stages. The 8:80 time, approximately 2 minutes 7 seconds. Still Verclair leading, Ivan in second place, Malinti third, Williams 4, Richburg 5, and Bev Nicholson improving into sixth place with Alison Wyeth back in 8th. But Ivan now is not going to hang around any longer with just over 600 to go. She's preparing to attack. Malinti in third place, the 1984 Olympic 800 metre champion. She's now 32. But a regular, of course, on the Grand Prix circuit, and a regular money winner too. And certainly if she can keep close to Ivan, she may have the faster finish. But Paula Ivan is making absolutely certain that, or trying to, that Malinti can't get within striking distance. Lynn Williams now in third place, Richburg is 4, Verclair the pacemaker 5, Bev Nicholson in 6th place, and 7th Alison Wyeth of Great Britain. There's the bell. 3:12. At 3/4 of a mile, and Malinti's just about in touch, but no more than that, and gradually Paula Ivan is winding up the pace in the back straight. Ivan with about 240 metres left. Malinti clear in second place, Williams clear in third, and Richburg is in fourth place. The world record held by Mary Decker at 4:16.71. If Ivan can keep driving, could be under some threat. And Ivan's looking very, very strong indeed. In fact, she's kicked again, and she's going away from Malinti. A powerful athlete, and the time at 1500 metres inside 4 minutes, 3:59. And the world record at 4:16.71, and she's going to do it. Driving for home, the world record in sight, and Mary Decker Slaney's world record has been broken, 4:15.62. Valinti in second place for Romania. Lynn Williams of Canada third. Richburg of America in fourth place. Bev Nicholson of Great Britain 5. Alison Wyeth of Great Britain in sixth place. And Klinger of West Germany in seventh. A tremendous world record by the Olympic champion. Mary Decker-Slaney's figures were set in 1985, but she's taken about a second off it. In fact, just over a second. So that was decisive. And a fine, fine piece of pace running in the early stages by the other Romanian, Baclea. But clearly they've carved it up between them, and they got it right. She's got time to look at the clock all the way down the straight, and she knows the world record belongs to her. The Olympic champion, Paula Ivan, now the world mile record holder.
The world indoor champion and Olympic champion Paul Ereng lines up in this 800 metres, and his biggest threat comes from another very fine Kenyan, unknown before the start of this season, a man wearing 117, Robert Kibet. It's a first-class field. Oki Clark of the United States, Jose Luis Barbosa of Brazil, then Paul Ereng, Ian Morris, who I fancy will be a pacemaker, the Trinidad sprinter, who earlier won one of the 400 metres, then Robert Kibet, look out for him, wearing 117, Giordani Quizera from Burundi, he wears 10, Lucas Sang, another fine Kenyan, 243, and Slobodan Popovic of Yugoslavia, 229. There's also Ken Washington in there and Sami Koskai. Ken Washington, 226, and he will be a pacemaker beyond 400 metres, I think. This is Robert Kibet, the new find of the season. He's in the RAF. He comes from the Rift Valley. He's run 1:44.29 at 7,000 feet on a cinder track. He was beaten by Johnny Gray in Oslo, but he admitted that he ran far too fast for the first 400 metres. He ran 49 seconds. Now, if they can run at around 50.5, then even Sebastian Coe's great world record is being threatened. That's 1:41.73. So there on the outside, Ken Washington. 1:19 is Sami Koskai. 2:43 is Lucas Sang. Popovic, Quizera, Robert Kibet, Ian Morris, Barbosa, Oki Clark, and the great Paul Ereng. Conditions absolutely perfect. He acknowledges the crowd. This is the man who won that astonishing indoor 800-metre race and kept an even pace throughout. So the clock is vital for this. He says he tried front running and lost a lot of races. He now likes to come from behind but keep the pace absolutely steady. And I would advise you that the 1:41.73 set by Sebastian Coe in Florence in June 81 at some time may well go to that man. Lucas Sang just been introduced, then Sami Koskai, Ken Washington. Watch for Barbosa, who's going to fight all the way. The Brazilian in white, who wears 6, who was 6 in the Olympic Games, the 1987 world indoor champion. He's in very good racing form indeed. So the final track event of the night, and everyone glued to their seat for this. The 800 metres under starters' orders now. It's Clark, Barbosa, Ereng, Ian Morris, possible pacemaker. Then Robert Kibet, Giordani Quizera, Popovic, Sang, Koskai, and Washington. The pace absolutely critical. Oki Clark's gone off very fast in the middle. Oki Clark from the United States, and we're looking for 1:58 Ian Morris, who should be leading. If he cuts across, there's a terrific burn up, and it is Ian Morris that's going to the front. Sami Koskai is up there too in black and white, and Sang is on the shoulder of Ian Morris, and Ereng in that bright yellow flash. 1:58 is Ian Morris of Trinidad, and then Sang is following him, 2:43. Lucas Sang, that is, 1:97 on the inside. Going really hard is Oki Clark, Barbosa in white. 49.26 for the front, and that means that the Olympic champion was going through fast, and Barbosa may take up some of the running now. Look for him in white, he's going wide. Sang's got to pull it, he's in trouble, is Ereng, and it's Sang is going up, Barbosa coming into second. Barbosa coming into second, and no sign of the Olympic champion at the moment, or is he breezing up past? 1:17 in second is Kibet. Kibet the young, and Ereng comes, and Ereng goes past the new boy, and Barbosa holds him off, and breezing into the straight, this long striding Kenyan who promises so much, and Barbosa can do nothing about it, and Kibet's coming up second, and watch the clock as they go through for a tremendously fast run, and there it is, 1:43.22 Kibet, and Barbosa, the 1, 2, 3, and he's hardly breathing again. Okay, the world record wasn't threatened, but my word, that was a tremendous run. 1:43.3, and if that's confirmed, it will be the season's fastest. No one's run faster than this, and Paul Ereng pacing these races to perfection now. Look at that stride, he's eating up the ground 9 feet at a time. Barbosa looks to see who's on his right. It's the new boy, Robert Kibet. And the time is confirmed at 1:43.22, and he's eating up ground, and the gap grows, and that really is a tremendous run. Faster than Gray, faster than Kibet, and Barbosa just holds off Kibet, but the victory, a tremendous one to the Olympic champion, who's been in superb form ever since Seoul, indoors and out, and now heads the world rankings.
Well, I can give you the result of the long jump before this final jump of the competition by Larry Marks. He's already won it with the jump at the top, 8 meters and 23 into a headwind of 1.3 meters per second. That was good jumping. He's beaten Mike Powell of the United States with 8 meters and 19. Robert Emyan of the Soviet Union couldn't exceed 8 meters tonight. He went in with 7 meters and 98. So Myrick's, who came so close to beating Carl Lewis recently, only to have that victory taken away with Lewis's last jump. He really went for that, didn't he? And that was a red flag, but nevertheless he's the winner with 8 meters and 23.
Right, well, let's just reflect with Dave Moorcroft then on what we've seen so far. A couple of great performances on the track there from those Olympic champions, Dave.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, Ereng looked wonderful in that 800, and he had to weave his way in and out on the last lap. But when he kicked down the straight, it was emphatic. And I mean, 800-meter runners are supposed to tie up down the straight and get all tense, but he was wonderfully relaxed and just ran away from everybody else. A very, very impressive run from a great, great athlete. Now,
Sebastian Coe's world record at 800 has stood for a long time and is a very strong record, but presumably this guy could get close to it.
Well, Seb's had his world record for 8 years now, and a lot of wonderful athletes have attempted to break it and failed. And I think it shows how strong the record is and what a great record it is. But Ereng is capable of getting close to it. But he ran a storming race tonight and was still 2 seconds away from it. So it's going to take a pretty exceptional run to beat it. And it certainly was Seb at his best 8 years ago. And it is a very, very difficult record to break. But the way Ereng runs, and he looks so relaxed, and he is a 400-meter runner who's moving up to 800 and has made the move very, very well. And he has got that speed in a very relaxed state that holds him very, very well throughout the race. And he looks far more relaxed and in control than the rest of the field.
Shows actually what an athlete Sebastian Coe was at his best, that we're actually talking in these terms all these years later. But Paula Ivan, I'm not surprised she's done that, actually. I'm very impressed with her. Very powerful lady.
Very strong lady. The race was perfect for her, and the pacemaker ran even laps. Often we see in these paced races that there's a very fast first lap, and it tends to take the edge away from the athletes. But it was even all the way. She took control with 600 metres to go and just ran away from the field, and it was a very strong performance. Last year on the Grand Prix circuit, she ran it everywhere and won every race, and we thought that it might take the edge off her in the Olympics, but she still came away with a silver and a gold. And this year she looks like she's in that same sort of form again, and she's getting the women's world record down almost towards 4 minutes, 4 minutes 15. Still a fair way to go, but pretty exceptional.
What a day that will be when that goes, breaks 4 minutes. Right, well now we can go on and see the highlights of the earlier event.